Just making sure that everything is working since I haven't done this in a while. Okay, looks like we are live right now. Hi, everyone. This is Anis from Never Stop Trucking. Today I wanted to do a session where I kind of look for trucks, but these trucks are for next Monday, and today is Thursday, so we can look for them. And then if you have any questions, we can talk about that as well. And then I have some announcements to make. They're not that big, but it's something new that I'm trying to do, always trying to improve the things that I do with you and for you. And hi, Marian. Hi, Miodrag. And so, first thing that I wanted to tell you is that I will be uh, dispatching other trucks because whenever someone was asking me, I would always tell them that I cannot do it personally. We can do it. Our company can, but I personally cannot do it. So now I will be able to dispatch a few more trucks, semi trucks, and it would be perfect if you had more than 3 months. If you have had your authority for more than 3 months. So just that. And then also, if you're a dispatcher, I was also planning to do this as often as I can early in the morning, maybe around 8:30, 9 a.m. Eastern time, go live on YouTube and maybe on other platforms too. I have to figure out how to stream to simultaneously to other platforms, but mainly YouTube. So I'll try to go live as much as I can. We can dispatch trucks together, and then meantime, if you have any questions, I can try to answer them. Hi, Tesfa. I'll just I make it short. I'm sorry. I've seen your email. I will call you as soon as I can. I do apologize. I've been very busy, and then when I think about calling you, something else comes up, and I wait till the afternoon, and then something else comes up. But I promise I will call you. um, so let's start with these trucks. So I do have one truck. He's on Monday here in Grand Rapids, and then I will have this guy. So what's cool here on the load search loads option, uh, switch between now this truck was in Buffalo, New York, and he picked up today. I found him a load for today to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and he's gonna be delivering tomorrow. Now, since he lives there, he wants to leave, stay home over the weekend, and I'll look for him for something for Monday. Now, what you can do here is just click this button, and then it will just switch. It will just change the origin and destination. It will just like rotate them. And I accidentally sometimes do that. Like when I click on these postings and I accidentally click there, sometimes it kind of messes up my my posting. But anyway, so this guy will be in Fort Wayne. I'm gonna deliver this guy here because this is old. So this guy will be on Fort Wayne, Indiana, but on the 18th. So make sure that you change the date as well. And I have a telemarketer calling me. So let me see if dispatch. You too. What he said, we are also dispatched. Thank you for it. That's funny. So dispatching company was calling. Okay, now Fort Wayne, Indiana, on the 18th, we have to change the date, but it doesn't let me. So here we go, 18th. So here you can change the radius here, just do 100, press enter, or you can do it here as well. All right. Now, since he will be kind of open, I want to do one posting to Fort Wayne from Fort Wayne to Buffalo, and then I'll do another posting from Fort Wayne to New York and Pennsylvania, because this will cover let's say 150 miles. So that way I can switch between them. Sometimes DAT board does not refresh on its own, so only when I click on another one, then it will refresh the posting. So what I can do is I can do another load search and go to Fort Wayne and just put in NYPA and search right here. Okay. And then once I'm, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask. If not, we'll just look for these trucks together, and then I can talk about random things with you. So Fort Wayne to New York, Pennsylvania, and then that's also on the 14th. Sorry, 18th. So one thing that's like when you record a day in the life of a dispatcher, then you can edit things out, like if you made a wrong posting or you made a mistake, because everyone makes mistakes, that's normal. But like when you go live, sometimes you say things that you didn't mean, and like you do things wrong, so it happens. But yeah, this is all 18th now, so it is for Monday. Now we have this one seems okay. It's a light load, and then here we have the load connect extension, and you just click on this and it's emailed, which is really cool. And I spoke about the extension a few times, and those guys are really cool. We know them. They're two guys, two young smart guys that made it, and they came up with a deal for you, 10% off if you are a Never Stop Trucking subscriber. When you go to the checkout page, you put in a code, Never Stop Trucking, and they give you 10% discount. So, but yeah, so now it's email. I just wait for their reply here in my email to see if that load is any good. So I'm gonna go here to my. I'm still gonna have to figure this out about streaming live, about showing my email and my inbox, because sometimes there can be personal information there. So if I get an email from the broker, I can just open it in a new window and then bring it here to this window where I'm streaming, so you guys can see. But I'll just wait here in my email for them to email me back. So we have that one. And then we have this one is so like it depends on what kind of truck you have, what kind of driver. Like, different drivers have different things that they like. Like this driver, he really likes loads that are picking up clothes. I mean, who doesn't? But like I always try to, when I do the miles and calculate the rate per mile, and then when I present them with the load, I always include all miles, empty and full, so they know exactly what their costs are. So that's what I do. So for me, it really doesn't matter if the load is 100 miles away or 20 miles away, because I always include all those miles in the rate. So if it's a great rate, it doesn't really matter. But he likes to pick up clothes. So with him, one of the first things that I do is I sort the posting by by distance. So I want to see first the loads that are closest to him. Okay, so we have this load from Choptank. This is not a bad load, but I know Tully is most likely Aldi, and since it's almost 600 miles, it will deliver, because this is Monday, it will deliver Wednesday night. Okay. Oh well, Tuesday, yeah, Wednesday night, because they consider it a 2-day trip. So we tried calling them many times, and it's always like that. All right. Bronx, he doesn't want to go to Bronx. Decatur, don't work with them. Now next one. Now this is probably the same, because it's same broker, same weight, and it's very similar to the one. And I can, it doesn't really, like with this extension, I just click. Maybe it's a different one. Maybe it's a different email. Maybe like if you send them 2 or 3 emails, maybe they will answer. Sometimes like they still haven't answered. So hopefully they will answer this email. And then College Point, I think that's over on the island. Brooklyn, Berwick. So this one is interesting, but lately they have been posting this load, and it's a 72-hour drop trailer. But I'm gonna email them still. See, like that's why this extension comes in really handy. In my opinion, it's worth every penny. I cannot recommend it enough, this extension. And you can even copy the email and put it in your browser, but why would you do that? Because they'd already sent these emails to them. Now this one is interesting. Delphos, Ohio to Hazleton. Marion, he has to go 55 miles. There's it's 500 miles. It's okay. I mean, the thing is, you still have time. It's Thursday. We still have time till Monday. So I don't want to take an average load. I want to take a good load. So in order to take a good load, sometimes you have to wait till like Friday or Friday afternoon or even Monday morning. But it's always nice to book loads in advance. See, there are not that many loads anyway. So I sorted them by distance. I can also sort them by weight. If the driver likes light loads, and then look first for the lighter loads and then offer those loads to the driver. I can, this one is pick up at 2. It's too late. And like this guy, I know him. He's gonna be empty tomorrow. He's not gonna want to pick up at 2, and I wouldn't either. We want something ideally that has open pickup all day, or something in the morning. I feel for some reason when I go live that I have to talk fast, but I see other live streams and they don't talk fast. They talk slow. But I don't know. I just want to make it more interesting. So that's that guy. All right. And then you can sort by different, like sometimes JAT, a broker from Fort Wayne, they have these loads from Fort Wayne, and then you can sort by company. So then I look, because it's sorted by alphabet here, so I can just look here for like JAT. There is nothing posted. But there are not that many loads anyway, so you can see. And then once you sort through all those things, like whatever you want to call them, destination, distance, or deadhead, or the origin distance, or the rate. Then once you take a look at all those loads and you get an idea what's posted, then you just sort them by age, and then you can just watch for loads that are the newest loads coming out. So that's what I've been doing, and it worked for me. Now Axel replied with that Ashley to Berwick load, so it is not a drop trailer. Let me see if this will work. If I open it up in new window and then bring it here. Oh yeah, it works. Okay, cool. See, this is what Load Connect does. It just sends them an email with automatic text, and the subject line here includes the pickup destination and the date. Can you send details? And you can put in your MC number, your name, phone, whatever, and it just sends it there. So they replied, Ashley, Indiana, pick up at 12:30, and then deliver 5 a.m. It's 1300, and then here, like, this is cool. Yes, send it over. No, sorry. No, sorry. So this is that one. And then another thing that this extension does is you click here and it opens up a new tab with Google Maps and with all the cities and destinations pickup. It's just great. And then we can see that it has 540 miles. And then he's he can do 13. So if we could do $3 per mile, around 16, it would be okay, but it's heavy. It's heavy. So it's not that bad of a load, but it's not great either, especially because it's, and then they posted 43. It's actually 44. All right, so he did reply. And then let me go back to Grand Rapids guy here. Also for Monday, let's with him, he is really not that specific, but I can also do deadhead distance. What about this? Oswego is way up there, I think. So I'll open up another tab. Oswego is way up there. I think he would. Nah, I don't think he would mind going there for good money. So I'll call them right now, and then hopefully you can hear this. I think you should be able to hear. If you don't hear the brokers talking, let me know. They're not answering. So it's 530 miles. Well, it's actually more than that because that's through Canada. Because Google Maps does that. Let me see. Yeah, it's through Canada. So if you go to United States, it's come on. Is this the one? No, this 640. I think that's the one. 640 miles. So nope, they're not answering. I mean, I'll let it ring for a while because there is really nothing else to call anyway. Now these loads, they don't pay well. I know this load is there. This load is there almost every day, and I think they load late as well. There's really not that much. And then here's this Brainingsville, but he's not gonna go here. I know him because these guys have been with me for. One of them has been with me for 9 years, and the other one for almost 9, maybe 8 years. So I know them. I know these guys. I know what they're gonna take. Well, I mean, I can book a load for them without even asking, and I do that a lot. That's why sometimes you don't see me asking them about like whether they want the load or not, because I know if they're gonna take it or not. They're not answering. So in the meantime, let me show you. Come on, hang up. Okay. Let me show you some news on the website. We have trucking news. If you go to neverstoptruck.in, we have trucking news. Look at that, with articles. So we try to update them every day. So we have a news, and then we have a column about different things. Okay. And then also, if you are an owner operator without authority, I do have my own authority too, so you can lease on to me. Um, you can, if you have any questions, just email me at ennis@neverstoptruck.in. All right, for any of these. But then, once you post them, you just browse through them and look if there's anything new. You can also go to brokers' websites and like we can go to, let's say JB Hunt, but they don't have that. The only reason why I like 360 is because you can bid there and they will kind of, send you their bids back. But they don't go a lot. For example, they have a load that's paying 1,000, you ask for 1,500, and they will tell you 1,300. That's like their counter offer. But I mean, it doesn't hurt to try. So with them, we can do. Let's do Erie. No, let's do Buffalo, and then we'll do a 200-mile radius or 250. So we'll see. Fix this a little bit here. Okay. All right. So we'll do 18th, and then 18th here. 2. Nothing. Okay. And then we'll do bigger radius. So this is way too far. Let me see how much they pay to mentor. 600. And then we can also try Fort Wayne. We can go to C.H. Robinson, but all these websites, their load boards, the brokers, they are not paying that well. So mostly you will find good loads on the AT board. What you can do here is, like, for example, you see a load from JB Hunt posted, and they put in usually a reference number, and then you can just go here and put the reference number in, and then that way you don't have to call them. You can see how much they're paying, what time does the load pick up or deliver, and you can also bid on their website. So that's why they come in handy. But this one delivers on 21st, so this is not a good load. It's like 300 some miles to Hunker, Pennsylvania, and it's delivering 2 days later, or 19, 20, 3 days. That's not okay. So here, let me see what's the newest. So we know he does on Plainfield, PA. That doesn't sound familiar. It's probably somewhere by Philly, because judging by the mileage, Plainfield, Pennsylvania. It's Harrisburg. It's not that bad, but it's heavy. And then this one is the only one that we didn't check out. And Lancaster is also, I think, too far for this guy. Like I said, I know them, so I know what they're gonna take. And now, did we call this one? I don't know if he wants to go to Marion. Let me call them. It doesn't hurt.
Added vector.
It's a voicemail. Hello? Voicemail. Yep. Okay. Just a voicemail. Yep, there's really not that much. Well, anyway, so there's one question from Mary. How many years of experience do you have at dispatching? Dispatching since 2013, dispatching. And then before that, I was also dispatching for like 3 or 4 months at one short period of time. But that's when I started my own company, authority actually, and then started dispatching. And I've been dispatching ever since. So you could say almost 10 years just for dispatching. But then also I drove for a long time. I have been driving, I drove a small truck, a straight truck since 2003 to like 2006. And then I started driving semi trucks. And then I had my own truck, sort of. I was a company driver too, and it was mixture of everything. So I drove for a long time, and then I became a dispatcher. Uh, and I didn't just become a dispatcher. I mean, I had my own company, so I didn't look at it um, as a dispatching position, more like a company business owner that was doing everything, including dispatching. So that's how I started all that, and then now I'm still doing a lot of things, not just dispatching. All right. Sometimes I have other guys that I work with. Sometimes they do everything. Sometimes I do some dispatching, but I do a lot of things. There's a lot of back office uh, work, and it's people don't see that. It's a big part of this business, and it's not just about trucking or dispatching. So right now I can just kind of watch these from time to time to see if there's anything new, like this one, but this one's cheap, and I can talk a little bit. So with anything else, any kind of other business, most likely you're going to start by yourself. You're going to be a one man, um, one woman operation. And let me just answer this. Hey, Hitnal. Okay, on Namoksad. Hi. Sorry. It's a driver, but he's Bosnian too, so I just wanted to see if there's anything he needs. If not, then I can call him back because it's my brother. But any kind of work that you do, it's gonna be a one man or one woman operation, and like you can be really passionate, with what you're doing. If you're like a photographer or something like that, and then you want to, you know, take photos and sell them and do different kinds of niche, because I'm talking about photography because I like it. I used to do it on the side, and you open up a business and suddenly you have to worry about finding new customers, invoicing them, advertising, bookkeeping, taxes, and you're doing like 80% of your work is the back office work or worrying about those things, and you're not doing something that you love that much. And then you suddenly realize, well, now you're a business owner, you're not a photographer anymore. The same as dispatching. You're not just a dispatcher, you are a business owner. And it doesn't matter what kind of business it is, it can have a revenue of $1 million in a year or $10,000. You're still the business owner, and everything is on you. And anything you do reflects on your company. So same with dispatching. It's not just I'm dispatching. You can't just call yourself a dispatcher. You're more than that. Dispatching is just a part of your day, but there's a lot more things that you have to take care about if you own your own business. I am from Bosnia. There was a question there. Sorry, I'm from Bosnia. uh, I don't know why religion matters, but thanks for asking. Um, can drivers have more than one dispatchers? Well, if this is an authority that a driver has his or her own authority, then yes, technically yes, they can have more dispatchers, and I don't prefer to do that that way when I'm dispatching them. I tell them always that this is not something, you don't have to go with me all the time. You can also, if you want to find yourself a load, that's fine. But then at least let me know, so we are not looking for a load for you all day for tomorrow, and then at the end of the day you say casually, or we call you, offer you a load, and you casually say, hey, I booked a load by myself, or with someone else. So like, let me know, I'm going to look for a load for myself, so no one wastes their time. And you can't, it's not exclusive contract that you sign unless you want to do it that way as a dispatcher. uh, so technically, yes, drivers can have more than one dispatchers, but I don't prefer it. I don't like it. Not just because I don't like competition, or it's the main reason is like, if they don't tell you like that someone else is gonna, like, they call around three dispatching companies, and they ask some of these drivers, and they ask, hey, can you find me a load? And if they're stuck somewhere, like, they usually find a load, they look for a load for themselves, and they're stuck somewhere, they can't find a load, and they see me on YouTube, they say, hey, can you find me a load? Well, yes, I can, but let's work together. Let's first we have to sign an agreement slash contract that we agree that you're going to pay me my fee and things like that. So that kind of makes it more official. And then if I'm going to look for a load for you, give me some time. If I can't find your load, I just say, hey, this is what we have, this is what I can offer you, and that's it. You decide what you want to do. But if you have three dispatchers working for you, and they're like competing between each other, and if one of them, like out of three of them, one of them is going to take a load for you, so that means that two of them will be working for free. So I don't think that's fair. All right. But if you have your own authority with your own trucks and your own authority and insurance, then the owner operators that are under your authority, leased onto you, they cannot work with anyone else, only with you. So that's one of the good sides of having an authority in trucking, because they officially have to put your signs on their trucks. They have to be under your insurance, and you can't book a load in someone else's name. Like, if you, like, my authority is XYZ, and I book a load for in ABC name and put it on my truck. No, the load with the broker, the rate confirmation, the contract has to be in my company name. Otherwise, if something happens on the road, you're pulled over either by DOT, or you go into an accident, or someone finds out that you're hauling a load for another trucking company with my insurance, then it's big trouble for everyone. So that's how it works. Okay, next one. Back office is the biggest part to stay ahead of the game. Thanks. You're welcome. Yeah. There's a lot of work. People don't realize that they see only this, and then and it's normal. It's normal. This is the main part. If you were not doing this, then you would have no business at all. This is your main thing. That's what you do. But I'm just saying there's a lot more involved behind the curtains or after hours that no one knows about, and that can be a lot of headache, sometimes even more than this. So this, I can honestly say, this is the easiest part this here, like finding loads and working with drivers. Everything else is a lot of headache. Next question. Is it possible to work as a dispatcher for a company based in USA from Europe? Yes. Many people do that, and I know a lot of companies that officially have offices in other countries, and like they open up a company there, and it's all legit. They pay taxes. They just outsource this part to that office. So you can work like that, or sometimes they will hire you to work from home. So you can work from home, but there has to be trust involved, and you have to prove that you're gonna do your work. So it depends. We have few dispatchers that work from abroad, and like you have to someone that you can trust, that's gonna do the work. If you're gonna pay them salary, then they have to be there at the computer and look for loads and book loads. All right, and drivers have to be satisfied with the work they do, or they can be paid by percentage of the load. So, and I think that's fair, because the more you do, the more you make, and that will, like if you don't do anything, because no one can watch over you, you're over there at home, no one can see what you're doing, and then if you don't do anything, then you don't get paid. So I know it's harsh, but like sometimes you have to do it. If you have someone that you can trust, or if you're a person like that you want to work from overseas for someone from here, then they have to trust you if they're going to pay you salary, okay, or work with you, hire you, at all. So they have to, there has to be that trust, and you have to be able to prove that. Next question: can I work only with truck stop? Yes, why not? But if you're a dispatcher, if you don't have your own authority, so you're not a broker, you don't have a trucking company, truck stop will not give you access. So that's why most independent dispatchers will go with the DAT board. And lately, as we all know, they have been trying to crack down on dispatchers from overseas. So that's going to be hard. If you're already existing company, and you should be fine, unless they do some kind of audit to see if you're from abroad or not. And then even when I called them a year ago, because I was making a YouTube video, and they were not really, I mean, they were giving the DAT accounts to anyone that had a company registered in the United States. So you didn't have to live here or have a residency, as long as you have a company registered here, and they can check with IRS and the state that you do have a company. They didn't prefer you to work from over there, but they turn a blind on whatever that phrase is on that, because they were just like, okay, yeah, we will just give them that. But they would tell you even then, you have to be here in order to work with trucking companies from here. But now you even have to have a card, a debit card or a credit card that's from United States. Otherwise, they will not, and I'm talking about DAT, otherwise DAT will not let you sign up with them unless you have a US based card. And I did make a video the other day how even if you're from outside of United States, how you can get a debit card from here. It's on the channel. It's just recent, so you check it out. And then truck stop will not let you work with them if you're a dispatcher. So maybe there's a way to sign up with them without authority that I don't know of, but I call them. And even when you go to their trucks, to their website, that they will tell you that they will not work with you if you're a dispatcher. So technically, you could only work with truck stop, because I think like 90% of the loads are on truck stop anyway, and they do also have a live option. Back then, when I was using truck stop, they did not have a live updated version of truck stop. It was just like you have to refresh every time. But now they have something similar to this. You just you open it up, and then it refreshes by itself. So, and it's more expensive as well. But it's going to be hard if you're a dispatcher. Next question. How can a dispatcher get an authority, or do I need to get my CDL to get an authority? Okay, that question is like the most popular question on the channel ever in my email everywhere, and I have many videos that talk about that, and the answer is no. As a dispatcher, you cannot have an authority, unfortunately. So dispatchers cannot have authority only if you have your own truck and or an owner operator that's leased on to your authority. That's the only way you can have an authority as a trucking company. There is no other way. And for that, you have to be here in the United States. You have to live here. You have to have an office, an actual physical office that you have access to. So from abroad, you cannot either way, even if you have your own truck here somehow. If you're abroad, you live there, you don't live in the United States, you cannot have an authority. Same with brokerage. You cannot have a brokerage authority either. Brokerages are like, you don't have to have your own truck for a freight brokerage. The only thing you have to have is a bond, and bonds are like around a couple of thousand a year. That's the only thing you have to have. But still, you have to have a physical address here in the United States. And then even if you're a dispatcher in the United States, you have to have your own truck or someone leased onto you, then you can have your authority. That's the short answer. But for longer answers that go into more details, just go to my channel. I'll bring it here for you, okay, just to show you. Okay, I'll just bring up my channel here to the, here we go. Okay, so if you go here and just search for authority, like, one of these words, enter. Okay, we have how much should you charge, how to find MC, dispatching, authority. Do I need MC number to be a dispatcher? And there was just a recent one that doesn't come up here, but in that one I did speak about authority somewhere. Yeah, just look for it. It's here somewhere. But no, you can't have it. Sorry. Next question. Let me see if we have more questions. And then also, the question was mentioning CDL. You don't have to have a CDL to have authority. It has nothing to do with that. You don't have to have a CDL. No one is asking you about that. The only thing you have to have is a truck. And why do you have to have a truck? Because when you go to FMCSA or UCR or URC, whatever they call it these days, and you start applying for the new authority, you will pay $300, and you have to have a mailing address and a physical address as well in United States, that their system, because their system is connected to a post office, to USPS. And if you type in an address that postal office does not recognize, you will not be able to go any further with your application. So that system will scan all the addresses. Once it okays the address, then you will go to the next step. And then when you apply, you pay $300. That's the easy part, okay? Then they will ask for a liability insurance. And you cannot have a liability insurance without a truck. So that's the problem. That's the main problem, okay? You cannot have a liability insurance without a truck, no matter if it's your own or someone that's willing to lease on to you. And then you pay for BCO3, it's like $50, and that should be it. And then only then they will grant you the authority. Without insurance, they will not. So in order to have insurance, you have to have a truck. There are some workarounds, but I don't, like, it's illegal, and I don't want to, it's not okay. But I know there are people who still do it. And you don't have to have a CDL for that. No one is asking you. Next question. Yelima, is there now this is in Bosnian language, Yelima. Is there a future for dispatchers? I don't see why not. There's always need for doctors, electricians, dispatchers. You know, some of them come, some of them go. There are millions of trucks on the road, millions of trucking companies. There's always room for good working, honest people who know what they're doing and who are willing to do this job legally and honestly. I don't see why not. Right now, it's tough for everyone in the trucking industry, no matter if you're a dispatcher, driver, broker, anything that has to do with trucking right now is bad. But it's normal. It will go away. We don't know when. You know, maybe this year, maybe next year, maybe year after that. No one can predict that, but it will go back, and then we'll also hopefully we'll all make some money again. Uh, if I get my own authority and driver crash his truck using my insurance, it will affect my policy. Yes, that's the downside of having your own authority. Anything the driver does on the road, it reflects you and your company and therefore the other drivers. So you can have like 10 owner operators and nine out of them do everything perfect and legally and they're okay. And you have this one guy that does things like that, a big crash or keeps getting violations, and then that one guy will just ruin your scores, your SMS scores, your CSA scores. You might have an audit, your insurance will go up, and then everyone else, like, if your insurance goes up, let's say your liability insurance was like, let's say like $250 a week for one truck. So that comes around to like 10,000 a year. So something happens, and then your insurance suddenly goes up, and now you have to pay like 300 or 350 a week for one truck. Then everyone else, all these other trucks, their insurance will go up because the policy usually, unless you're with Progressive does things differently. And if you're with Progressive or if you're thinking about Progressive, don't go with them. They're bad. But sometimes like new companies cannot have another, like if you have one truck and you can't get a better insurance, okay, Progressive is fine. But as soon as you can find someone else. Progressive is not good, especially if you have more trucks. But most insurances will give you a rate that will be same for each truck, okay? And it's just by default. No matter what the truck is, what the driver is, it doesn't matter. The insurance will be same. So one truck, one driver does something bad, and then it affects the whole policy. Everyone else will have to pay more for the insurance because of that. So that's why when people are hiring new drivers or like getting new owner operators, they don't investigate much. They only see money signs like, hey, just come in and it's another 10 or 15% for me that I'm going to charge them. But they don't look at the driver history, like what they're going to do. And then pretty soon you have people calling you, complaining, on the road, like, hey, this guy almost hit me, this guy almost killed me, or like they don't report an accident, or like they get out of service. So you gotta make sure that driver is okay. I'm talking if you have your own authority, okay? But if you're just a dispatcher, dispatching someone else that has their own authority, you pretty much don't have to deal with any of that. So it's not on you, it's on their authority and their driving record. You're not affected by that, okay? And the next question, Spanish. I don't understand Spanish, but like I think you guys are talking in Spanish. Okay, I opened my own business and did some cold calls and wanted to dispatch carriers, but could not book loads because they have a new authority. Yeah, that's the thing. And then even now, I just said like, hey, if you are a trucking company and you need someone to dispatch you, call me. I can work with you, unless your authority is younger than 3 months, and that's the magic number. Some brokers will even require 6 months or a year. Most of them, is 3 months. If you have someone that's brand new, CH Robinson and TQL most likely will work with them. So you have to tell them, look, you're brand new, and it's going to be tough, and they're probably aware of that. I can book you loads with TQL and CH Robinson. Yes or no? And you don't have much choice. You gotta take what they can offer you just to make it by. So if you have a new authority, make sure you tell them that CH Robinson or TQL, take it or leave it, because it's what it is. And I did the same thing with my authority when I started. But then back then it was much easier. There were more loads, and brokers were more flexible because they needed trucks. Now they can pick and choose. Now they can come up with a lot of stupid new rules that don't make sense for companies. So if you are signing on someone else, make sure that they have at least 3 months old authority, and or tell them that, like, you gotta take whatever is out there. Don't like call me all the time and say, hey, how come there are no loads? And then you offer them a load and they don't want it because it's heavy, it's cheap. Well, that's how everyone started. Like, sometimes you will find a broker that will work with that authority, and it will happen, especially when we have good markets. Or if they really need a truck, they will make a one-time exception. It's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but the thing is, because right now there are not that many loads, the loads are the rates are cheap, and brokers have all these things that they require. It's going to be very tough to find a broker that will work with new authorities. So it's what it is. Oh my, there are so many questions. I do. Okay, so the last question, I'm gonna, Diego Reyes had a question about improving ability as dispatcher. So that's the last question I'm gonna answer for today. So because I talk a lot, like I see a question and I like just make a show about it. Let me see, where was the last one? It's not easy finding trucker drivers and costly. Yeah, that's the hardest part about being a brand new dispatcher. If you're an older, like you have a company that's established, and you found ways to find new drivers, and maybe you have someone that's trying to do the marketing for you, or you're doing yourself, that's different. But if you're a brand new dispatcher, that's probably the hardest part, is finding, looking for loads and finding loads is fairly easy. We have market, the market is the way it is. You can't change it, and the drivers know that. So they will eventually book a load, but the problem is finding those drivers that are willing to work with you and that are going to trust you, and you have to stand out from the crowd if you want someone to start working with you. You have to find your own way. Like for me, this is one of my ways, making YouTube videos and doing these live, and that's how I got a lot of drivers to want to work with me. All right, so you have to find something that's different, that works for you. Cold calling is still okay, everyone still does it, but right now I have my own authority, and I get like at least 5 phone calls a day from dispatchers advertising their own dispatching services, and they all sound the same, like same pitch, same introduction, same offers, same story. Why am I going to choose one of them over the other? You have to be unique, find something, like make sure, one of the things I tell everyone, like make sure, like when you call a driver, that they are aware that you are a one man or one woman operation, or 2 man. Like this is you. It's you who is going to be dispatching them. You're not like a salesperson. You just dial 200 numbers a day, and then once they say yes, you transfer them to the dispatcher. No, you are the dispatcher. You are going to work with them. So I always, I would, emphasize that, because people would rather hear that, because that's unusual. Everyone that calls me has like their dispatching department that's going to work with me. So it all sounds the same. Um, can Miodrag, can you help with booking some? Can you help me? See, like I have these two. I mean, I don't have that many trucks today, and always when I want to record these, I don't have, like I only have few trucks. But let me see, Sydney. What do we have? Because I keep talking, like yeah, there's really nothing new. Um, sorry, Miodrag. Israel, thanks, Anis, for doing these lives. Yes, and if you're welcome. And it is my pleasure, literally. It's not just a thing, it's my pleasure. I like doing these. But I just don't want to become boring to you. But I was thinking, I did say that at the beginning of this video, that I want to try to do these as often as I can, maybe even every day, like every morning around 8:30 or 9. I'll see how it goes. Whenever I have time, I can turn on the camera. I can look for loads together with you guys. You don't have to stick around to the end. You can always rewatch them later because they will be on the channel. But then in the meantime, we can do these questions and answers. Okay, Maria, I like watching all of your videos. Enes and Kemal's videos too are really good and informative. Thank you, and I like that guy, Kemal. I sometimes I watch him. Right now, I don't have that much time to watch these other dispatchers channels, but they will pop up because we do the same thing. And I can honestly say that all of them are really doing a great job. I cannot say that like one of them is like doing something wrong. All of them are really great, and I have the utmost respect for all of them. And I hope that everyone succeeds and accomplishes whatever they're trying to do. Because I see some of them have also courses, and I'm sure they're really good too. And it just depends on you, like who you like watching. If you like watching that guy or that girl for some reason, as long as you can learn something, then it's all great. But yeah, I like him too. Okay. Hector, I have a dedicated lane from my box truck from Maryland to Virginia. What's the best way process to find a dedicated lane back to Maryland? Oh man, like do you do you have an easier question? That's a hard question. And honestly, I don't work with box trucks. Chris, if you're watching, hi Chris. He's dispatching our box trucks, and he's uh, a pro. He's a professional, so he would be able to answer that question. But as far as box trucks go, I know how they work. I know the rates. I just don't dispatch loads for them. So therefore, I don't feel like I'm the person to ask that. All right. So I'm sorry. I just don't know how to answer that. Hi, Anis. Is it possible to rent someone's MC and tract owners to work under it? If yes, how? Rent someone's MC. I have never heard about that. Like you can't really rent it. You could maybe work together with them and share the profit. I think that would be, well, you can't like if you have a, what was the question? Rents a tractor. Well, okay, no, it wouldn't work because you have if they have their own MC authority, they have to, the other trucks that you find loads for have to be leased onto them. You can't book a load under that MC number and give it to another owner operator with that MC number. Okay, so that way it's not going to work. Unless you can find owner operators who are willing, like who don't have their own authority and who are willing to sign on to that MC number, all right, and then you dispatch them and you share the profit with that MC number, but they run under their signs and they're on their insurance, on their drug screen policy and all that. So that's that would be tough, but it's doable that way. Okay, where can I find carriers to dispatch them and do their paperwork. A lot of people say they don't need a dispatch because they don't want to pay the service for dispatching. Yes, they don't want to dispatch pay. Yeah, that's the main reason why they don't, like, they want to save money. Um, as far as the paperwork goes, I don't do any paperwork for our owner operators that we dispatch. We can do like invoices for them, we can do that, but I prefer not to, because you either have to charge them a bigger percentage or pay charge them per invoice. And per invoice fee, like, you can't charge them $100 per invoice. Maybe like $15-20 at most, and it adds up. If you have 10 trucks, it will add up, but you're gonna have to spend a lot of time doing that. So I don't prefer not to, unless they specifically ask me, and then I could do it, but I really don't. We don't do any paperwork for them. But if you include it maybe as a promotion and tell them, hey, okay, well, usually I don't do paperwork, or we charge extra, but since you can't find anyone and you're maybe just starting out, maybe you can put it out as a promotion, say, hey, I will also do your paperwork, all right? And why they don't want to work with you is usually because of the fees. They want to save money, especially now, because like every dollar counts currently. But the problem is, like right now, the rates are not that great, so they're making less money in a week right now than what they used to make. So having that in mind, you're going to charge them less because of your percentage. Let's say you charge them 6% from the load, and right now they make $5,000 a week, and that's $300 for you. But like in good times, they can maybe make 8,000 a week, and that's $480. So for you, that they have to pay you, so it's even more. So what kind of is interesting to me, that they would rather pay more in good times as opposed to pay less now when it's harder to find loads. It's really hard for them themselves to drive and look for loads when they're loading and unloading. It's really going to be hard for them to find these loads. And that's why you come in. That's what you do. That's your job. And they will pay you less because these loads pay less. And now drivers don't want to do it, even though it's less money, because they're trying to save every dollar. And I do understand that, but they would rather pay you more during good times, because they can make more. So it's it's very interesting, that mindset. All right, but you have to tell them that, like, hey, it's going to be hard for you, and it, to drive and look for loads, because usually this job is like, this is the only job you will have. Like, you're a dispatcher and you dispatch trucks. A driver drives a truck, and that's what they do. And owner operators, they're trying to dispatch themselves. They're trying to do two jobs, and it's doable. It's doable in good market times when we have good loads, good rates. Brokers call you. You don't even have to call them. They call you, say, hey, I have this load again next week. Can you do it? And they do it. But now it's hard, and that's your job, and you're taking over that burden of their shoulders, and you're charging them even less than what you charged them in the past because of the rates, because you're paid by percentage. So you have to maybe present it to them that way. All right. Do you use software? Any recommendations? Like, if you're talking about TMS, I use Tracking Office for my authority. For dispatching, I don't I use my spreadsheets. They're free, and I have spreadsheets. I have videos on my channel about spreadsheets. I have some of them on my website right here. Where is it? Over there. Never stop track.in. I have templates there. So I don't use TMS for for me, there is no need. And then Emro, he came up with a software for us. He made a software for us that we also use for that. Israel, I love the videos. I think I'm just going. Like I said, I'm gonna stop, but I keep talking because I really want to answer more of these questions for you guys. Um, I love the videos of you calling drivers. Do you have any videos of you closing with a new driver? No, the I only did two videos when I was cold calling, uh, and one of them was I think like just a regular pitch. The other one was like, hey, can I help you with anything? And that both of those times I didn't find anyone. So I didn't have. Usually, when I close is when they call me back, and I'm not recording. Then that's like it's going to be very hard to close on a first call. You have to either call them a few times or leave them a message or email or tell them to think about it or they call you back. So it's usually for me not on the first call. And a lot of people, like a lot of people who are in cold calling, the professionals, they will say that it's they don't prefer to close it on the first call because like they don't trust you enough yet, they don't know yet. But like the second time you call them, now you're already like they know you and they can trust you more and like that kind of thing. I'm not gonna go into those details, but most people will say that you don't usually close on the first call. But I would love to do that. That would be great. Um, but I don't. The answer is no. I don't have any phone calls that will show that the closing. Uh, English. You mentioned some program that will dispatch instead of human, if I understood correctly. They also made. Yes, I mentioned that program, and these guys, I spoke to them in January of this year, and I never heard back from them. They were already ready to publish that program. They made a TMS program, and it was really cool. It was AI TMS, and you were able to drop in, like you just drag a rate confirmation into it, and it would recognize the pickup cities, the delivery, the broker, and it will generate all those fields on your invoice and on your paper. You don't have to do anything. You just put in the rate confirmation, which was really cool. And they were saying that they would have the software that would scan through, let's say, DAT board and call brokers, and it would talk to them, and it would be also able to book loads or negotiate. But like now, I haven't heard from them. Like they just vanished. Their website is still there, but it's not like the TMS is not active yet. So I think they may have run into some kind of a problem, so they're waiting for it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure pretty soon that that's gonna be. And it doesn't worry me. That doesn't really worry me. Maybe some people will use it, but same as with automated messages. I would still prefer to talk to a live person. And if I was a broker and a robot calls me and say, "Do you have a load?" and I'm not gonna talk to that robot. I mean, I'm just gonna hang up. That's just stupid. But yeah, pretty soon I don't see why not. They will come up with it. I don't worry about it. Same thing with self-driving truck. I don't think in our lifetime that we will see those. So I don't really worry about them. Key approach. So this guy is asking about the average fuel consumption because it's here in the United States it's the other way around. It's gallons, and gallons are roughly 3.7 something liters. We just round it to 4. Okay, let's just say 1 gallon is 4 liters, a little bit less. And in Europe, the way you measure consumption in cars or in trucks is how many liters per 100 kilometers. Okay, here it's the other way around. Here you say like how many miles can you drive with 1 gallon of fuel. So it's confusing. First you have gallons and miles, and they're different measurements, and then in Europe you have liters and kilometers. And now you have to all twist it around too. So that's a question. You have to really I'm live now, and I just But yeah, just for the sake of it. So his question is, our trucks here usually, the older trucks, you go by this. It's a general rule of thumb that they will use 1 gallon per 6 miles. So you would say like 6 gallons, 6 miles a gallon. All right, for one truck. Now it's a little bit better. Some of these companies claim like 10 miles per gallon, and that's really not possible unless you have perfect driving conditions. It's more around like 7 or 8 miles per gallon. So let's say it's 6 gallons, 6 miles per gallon. Okay, so that's around 24, maybe 24, 22 liters per 6 miles. 6 miles is roughly 10 kilometers. So you have 22 liters per 10 kilometers. Okay, and yeah, it's a lot. So hopefully I didn't make a mistake, because today I'm not thinking straight. And then also another fun fact: did you know that in United States you don't measure like with regular people when you talk to them, like on the street, or they don't measure distance here in miles or in kilometers? Did you know that? Do you know what the answer is? Like you measure distance in time. Like everyone will tell you, like how far is that, and you're like, oh well, it's 15 minutes from here, or it's 20 minutes, it's 30 minutes. Everyone says that. It's just specific for United States, as far as I know. All right, so that's really, when you think about it, it's really funny. Okay, what do you recommend? Oh man, that's okay. Sorry, I think this is enough. I can uh, write down some of these questions and maybe make videos about them, or maybe try to answer them in the next session. But I'm just gonna go really quick through all these. I don't want anyone to leave hanging. Improving ability as a dispatcher. Practice. Improving ability with anything. Practice. Can I work only with truck stop? You cannot work with truck stop as a dispatcher. If you have an authority, yes, you can. Do brokers work with MCs older than 6 to 7 months? Yes, they work. Yeah, 6, 7 months is good. You're good. If it's active, you have insurance, as you say, then yes. Which state market is the best to move my truck? If it's a semi truck, depends if it's a reefer or van or flatbed, but going to East Coast is usually okay. Going out of the East Coast is not okay. Going to Florida is okay. Going out of Florida is not okay. Going to Texas is okay now. Going to West Coast is, I would stick to Midwest and East if you really have to go to East. But just know that from East Coast, it's gonna be bad. C.H. Robinson, okay, being honest. Yes, being honest, best way to live. Anyway, I could connect with your colleague, Chris. Chris, here is his email, Chris at 3blogistics.net. Okay, that's his email. Okay. Trucking is a penny game, every penny, yes. Is market worse now than it was before COVID? Well, yes, definitely worse because of the fuel, and there are so many trucks out there. Back then in 2018, 2019, we did not have this many trucks. Now we have a lot of trucks, a lot of new people who wanted to open up a new authority because they saw money in trucking 2 years ago and possibly last year. And they wanted to open up the trucking authority. And now we have a lot of trucks. Big companies bought, hundreds, thousands of new trucks because of good markets. And now we're stuck with all those trucks. It's what it is. So in my opinion, it's worse. And that's one of the factors, the fuel and just the mere number of the trucks and trucking authorities that we have right now. Good time to start dispatch business. I think it's not the best time, but I'm not gonna say it's a bad time. It's not a bad time to start. It's not the best time, so it's an okay time. All right, I'm just gonna say that it's an okay time. You will learn a lot of things. You will be ready for the next crisis. Once it's easy to be a dispatcher, very easy when we have good markets. But right now, like now, we're showing, like who's capable of what. What tools do you recommend to organize driver's information? Um, uh, I think I have a driver qualification video on my channel. Try to find it. And then I have some DQ forms on my website, Never Stop. There's truck.in. I can make a video. It's a whole video about that. So I really, I can't. That's a big part of having authority is driver qualification folders and equipment folders. It's a big thing. All right, very important. So I can't really answer that in 20 seconds. All right, but it's a great question. All right. Thank you everyone for being here. Hopefully I see you tomorrow, and hopefully I will see you more often. Check out neverstoptruck.in for everything, courses, documents, news. Like we have a lot of things. All right. And thanks everyone for being so supportive. And then subscribe to the channel, share the videos, and like the videos. And then see you guys around. Thank you again.